Hello again. Over the years, I've watched various right-wing groups spring up in this country. I remember Colin Jordan and his National Socialist from way back in the late 50s. These groups typically enjoy a brief moment of optimism before falling inevitably by the wayside. In fairness to right-wing groups, it has to be said that exactly the same thing happens with extremely left-wing parties as well. I think there must be something about the British character which causes them only to like choosing between two big parties. For the last couple of centuries, voters have chosen between the Whigs and the Tories, and then between the Liberals and Conservatives. Since the end of the First World War, over 100 years ago, the choice of government has always been between Labour and Conservative. Every so often, some group will emerge like the Social Democrats in the early 1980s, who claim to be breaking the mould of British politics, but this kind of thing invariably fizzles out and comes to nothing. 50 years ago, one anti-immigration party led the field, of course, and for a while in the mid-1970s, it almost looked as if they might get somewhere. In 1973, the National Front got 6.8% of the vote at the GLC elections in London, and the following year, during one of the general elections of 1974, they got almost 5% of the vote nationwide. In Newham, the National Front candidate beat the Tory into third place. It didn't last though, and from 1975 onwards they began to decline. Then the British National Party had a brief moment in the sun, with local councillors being elected in a few places, including here in Loughton. That didn't last either though. Today there are 4 or 5 fringe groups fighting for the anti-immigration vote. Britain First, For Britain, and of course the Patriotic Alternative, who never quite seem to get off the ground as a proper political party. The last time that they applied to the Electoral Commission to be registered as a party, the verdict was quite damning. The Electoral Commission said that we refused Patriotic Alternative's application to register as a political party. The party's constitution and financial scheme were not compliant with the law. The constitution did not accurately set out the structure and organisation of the party, and the financial scheme was not properly adopted and did not properly set out arrangements for regulating the financial affairs of the party. Ouch. The logo of the Patriotic Alternative, which may be seen in the thumbnail to this video, is a squirrel, but the significance of using such a harmless furry little mammal in that way quite eludes me. I can't see any party which is avowedly anti-immigration getting off the ground in Britain. This is regardless of whether or not I think it would be a good thing, it's just how politics are. The Conservatives are falling to pieces at the moment, but that simply means that Labour are likely to get in at the next election. I would be very surprised to see any party dedicated to halting immigration making any progress at all by that time.